icebreaker at some point. But there's kind of 3 ways that you could play this with your students these last days. I have this linked to a Flipgrid thing that you can just take and make a copy. If you're not familiar with Flipgrid, it's a simple tool that's already in Clever. Kids just log in, or you log in and create a grid called 2 truths and a lie. Kids have to use a video recorder and record themselves saying 2 things that are true, 1 that are a lie. And then if you use Flipgrid, kids can go around like it's like a little, like you can think of Hollywood Squares type grid. They just click and watch each other's videos, and then they can respond and guess which one they think is a lie. So that's kind of the way that they could play if you just want to post it on your LMS page and kids can play at any time that they want. That's a great example of using Flipgrid for that kind of, not everybody has to be on Zoom to play. It's just asynchronous. You can play whenever you want using Flipgrid. But you could also do the same thing during Zoom and just say, okay, I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes to write down 2 things that are true, maybe about what's going to happen this summer, and 1 thing that's a lie, and then go around your Zoom tiles and have everybody read. And then kids could guess in the chat which one they think is a truth and which one is a lie. Or you could just have them pre-record their videos, and then you could play them, and then you could still use the chat. So there's kind of 3 different ways you could do truth and a lie, but it's just kind of a fun game for you to use. So again, this is linked. If you just want to take this grid where it says add over here, you would just add it to your page, and you don't have to do any more work other than that. And put the link on your, then you would click share, and you would share it out with your class with that link. So it's really easy to use. Okay. This is, again, something that maybe is for the older kids, but what it is create your own Facebook page. So, oh, my slide, thought I had that link there, so it's not linked correctly, but I'll show you. But what this is I have a Google slide deck with this Facebook template just replicated on every slide. So you would just assign each student a slide number, and they could make sort of a yearbook page for themselves or a fake Facebook page. But I would give them certain things that you want them to put on there. So like put a picture of you. If they don't have a picture of themselves, a picture of something they would want for the profile picture. And then maybe they can edit each of these little lines. They could put maybe the top 10 things that happened to them this school year, memories that they want to have about their class. So it's just kind of, they make this fake Facebook profile. And then at the end, you'll have a slide deck full of everyone in your class's fake Facebook. So it's kind of something you could then send them a copy that they just look at, and they can't necessarily edit it once you make that copy. And it's kind of a fun activity for them to do. So create your own Facebook page. Okay, that's a good one too. Word clouds with students. One of the things I used to do at the end of the year is we would spend when I taught 3rd grade, we'd spend 1 day, and kids would each get like a big piece of paper with everyone in the class's name on there. So it'd say like Shannon, Sarah, Diana, and they would have to write 1 word related to that student in their class. So hilarious, nice, funny, just like an adjective that they wanted to describe that student. And then the kids at one of the last day of schools, I would give them all the words that their friend said, and they would type them into word cloud and make a word cloud of themselves that they could then take. We would print them out, and they would have kind of a nice response for their from their class, the words they thought. So in order to digitize this activity for you, I just made this Google form that you'll have to make. When you click it, you'll make a copy, and then you'll just change all of the names in here to names in your classroom. So kids would then go in, and you'd give this link to all the kids, and they can just go in and put in 1 word about each of their classmates. And then as the teacher, you'll get a list of all the responses. So you could either make the word clouds yourself, or you could send the just list of adjectives to each student that kids in their class thought about them. But it's really nice kind of happy feeling activity to do at the end of the year to get all these nice positive adjectives. And because you're the teacher view of it, if you would have somebody who would be like a stinker and put something in there that's not nice, you'll see it before students see it. So you can always delete those words out. That kids won't see. So then this little heart links to word cloud, the word cloud site. So then you can just go there, or you can just give them a list of words too, or make it for them. So it's really easy to do. You could even have the first activity, send it to them ahead of time, and then just show the word clouds during your presentation as well. So that's kind of my idea for using word clouds. I know I'm going kind of fast, so if there's questions you have, just let me know or I'll slow down. But
I don't see any so far, so we're good.
All right, good. Okay.
Hey, Shannon, I was just going to point out, I don't know if you mentioned it when you're showing the Facebook one, But there was also that Twitter template as well that I could put a link to if you didn't have that.
I don't think I have it, but if you want to link it in that slide, I'll give you access to.
Okay,
that.
yeah, that in later when I have access to my computer.
Okay. Okay, this one is a collaborative meme template. So I love memes. You love memes. Everybody loves memes, right? Okay. So this is, you could create memes that have to do with your end of the school year. So again, this is just, if you want to do this live, you could click this slide deck, and again, it's just a copy for you to use, and you can change the pictures out. But if you're doing it live, you could show the kids this face, present it, do the share screen on Zoom, and say, okay, in the chat, I want you to think of one sentence that you would put about this meme that has to do at the end of our school year, maybe a memory from the year. So maybe you're gonna be like, I'm gonna be learning from home, or my mom's my new teacher. You know, like those could be things that maybe kids would think about when they see this face. So I just added a few pictures that you might want to use, and then kids can make up their own sentences for that, and then you can kind of choose as a class which one do we think is the best one, and then make kind of some funny memes with your class or students. You could also just give that same copy. You could go to File, make a copy, and if you're older, have older students and you want them all to make different, you want them to all have different memes, you want them to do all 5 of them on their own, you could share this document, and then they can put their name up here, they can put their subtitle in there, and then you'll have many copies of the same slides from students. You can also add, I'll show you how I just added the pictures. I just went to Insert Image, and then I just searched the web for like a surprise face. Okay. And so, I just, oh, that's the one I want to use. I just click it, click Insert, and then there's my meme picture that I want them to create a meme for. So it's really easy to use, change the pictures to things that are relevant to your class, and it's just kind of a fun thing you can do. Games, so you can either do that live or you can give them their own copy. So both things are available there. Okay, I think this is my last one, then I'll hand it over to Diana. This is just a fun math game that I used to play with my class, and it's, again, I would say for elementary. You can either use it with multiplication or addition. So what it is you would have kids either on a piece of paper, everybody's gonna need a piece of paper for today's class, and then they would write out snake on the top of their paper, kind of making it look like this grid here. And what you do is you can use these virtual dice, and you roll the dice, and then students decide whether they want to, so I'll just click on this so you can see what it is. I want 2 dice, I'm gonna roll them. Okay, so these are the numbers that I would use. So once they get snake up there, they would use those numbers that you roll on your virtual dice. But what happens is, if you're playing with addition, the students will add those dice. So they will add 5 plus 4 is 9. So they write a 9 in the S column. Okay, then you're going to keep rolling the dice. Students keep adding in that S column. After you roll the dice and they either add or multiply the numbers, they count up their sum, and they have 5 seconds to decide if they want to keep playing the game. Now, the reason they might want to end the game is if you roll a 1 on a single die, your turn rolling is over. But if you would happen to roll 2, the second part of the directions are here. If you happen to roll snake eyes, which is 2 1s, any student who has not dropped out of the game loses all their points. So the kids love this game. They want to play it all the time. But what you do, so they keep adding, and so it's kind of like a risk. If they have to guess, if they think maybe they've gotten 25 points and they think nobody's going to roll snake eyes, I'm going to keep going. They would keep playing. So all of these are, they would play. Now, usually in the classroom, if they want to drop out and they don't want to take the risk anymore, I would have them turn their paper over. Since you're playing virtually, what I would have them do is turn their camera off when they want to drop out of the game. So I'm going to keep my points right here. I'm going to turn my camera off so my teacher knows that I'm not going to play anymore until somebody rolls snake eyes. Because the longer you go, the more points you could get, but you could also lose all your points. So it's really fun, and read through the directions. I think you'll catch on, but it's a fun game to do just as a review for math, and the kids love. So I don't know, Sarah, did you ever play that one in your class? I think we did that when we taught together. can't remember.
It sounds familiar now that you mention it. It's been a
Yeah.
couple years, but good for you for remembering.
Yeah, so that is what I have for sync. So I'm going to pass off my kind of ideas. I think it's Diana's turn. You're up, so I'm going to stop my share. And Diana's going to jump on real quick.
You want to keep yours on because my graphics aren't up when I present.
Yep, back to me.
I'll
Okay,
just-
Diana's going to talk and I'm going to click.
You'll just walk through, yeah. Okay, so one of the things that I've discovered is, especially with my middle school and high school student, is trying to keep them engaged in the activities. And one of the things I've discovered is you got to meet them where they want to be. And they're all about the Snapchat thing. So why not create your own Snapchat option? And this is a game option that you can use to create, you can use Google Slides to do this. So if you want to advance to the next slide there, Shannon, what this is give me your emoji face and give me a response. So for example, if I sit through a long Zoom meeting, I'm going to use this emoji face that I found, and I'm going to take a selfie and post it within there. Again, these are templates that you can use and find in Google Slides, or that we are also making available through this presentation. So this was a little bit of fun that I had. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Here's another emoji face with, if you can't connect to the Zoom meeting, just kind of shrug your shoulders and move on. So again, students can take selfies of how they're feeling and responses to questions that you have for them. The next option is kind of along the same lines, but instead it's would you rather. Give them two choices and force them to either take a selfie, which is what they're all about, or they could actually, instead of inserting the selfie photo, they could just type in their answer, or you could have them circle it there as well. Again, I used Google Slides and just imported in and added photos and questions. So you could have an end of the year, how are you feeling type of thing, or you could, make it more of a challenge for them to fill in all the answers and send it back to you, and then make it one presentation that you could share out with the rest of your class. Okay. That's what I got.
All right, Sarah, you're up.
Okay.
You want to, I'll stop mine now. You can grab it.
All right, sweet, thank you. Okay. So the ones that I'm going to share with you are a little bit more that you can use on Zoom, but there are a couple that the, kids can do on their own as well. So the first one is simply just a scavenger hunt. There's lots of different ways you could do this. I know all grade levels would enjoy something like this. Just, a couple weeks ago, my 8th grader comes running down the stairs. I need a fork. I need a fork. And I'm like, why? Because we're doing a scavenger hunt. So his teacher was giving points to whoever came back and showed the item first. And so I think, they sent him like a piece of gum or dropped off something for him. So you could always keep points if you choose to or not. So just a couple different ways you could do it. Obviously you can go have students find a specific thing, but maybe you want them to find something with 4 legs. So that could be lots of different things, not something specific. Or Matt, I'll give you props on this one. Find something that spells a certain word. And so if you want them to spell, your last name or, summer or something like that, then they would need to find an object for each of those letters and come and show you the different objects. And I'm sure there's more things that are not listed, but you could always have a list of things available for you. Another one would be charades. Because we're on, camera, kids like being on camera and they like to make faces and do fun things. So you could send a clue or the topic or whatever to an individual student in the chats, and then set a timer, and everybody else that's in your Zoom needs to try to guess what that person is acting out. So this would, again, be fun, I think, at all grade levels. Obviously, your kids that don't want to participate, there may be some, could always opt out and just try to guess instead. Just a simple trivia game. This could be content related or just for fun, or a mix of both. Again, my middle schooler, he was down in the kitchen and he's like, Mom, how many keys are on a piano? I'm like, I don't know. Why do you need to know this? Because we're doing a trivia game. And so whoever types in the correct answer first gets a point. So this might be things that they know offhand. Maybe you want them to try to do, a Google search to find some of the answers as well. So lots of different options for the trivia game for content and just for fun related. We would do this it's kind of like almost category-esque, but we would do this a lot of times in class, just if you had a couple extra minutes, name something that. So they could make a list of things and whoever has the most in 1 minute is the winner, or try to be the first one to name something. So maybe something that's cold or round or blue, or things, if you want to show a picture like this image here, things in this room, lots of different options. And again, it can be grade level specific, because some of our, younger kids, our kindergartners, if you're working on shapes, then maybe you want them to find, I know shapes has been a big thing and it might be overdone in our curriculum, but you could have them find something specifically that is, a shape or a color, or starts with the letter P. So they have to go find something that starts with a certain letter as well. It's kind of scavenger huntish too, I suppose, but it would be like naming things. They could write it in the chat or just shout it out to you as well. 21 questions is also another fun one. I know that there's an app, and I don't remember what the name of the app is. There is a link down here, and I put 20 questions, 21 questions. There's a link there that you could click on and to give you some topics. But you can also just find your own topics. So an animal, or a room in your house, or a person, a celebrity perhaps, or a musical group. And so then the kids just take turns asking yes or no questions specifically. So you would just say yes or no to whatever question they ask. Can you buy this at Target? Yes or no. But again, there's a link down there if you want to check that out. Thank you, Shannon, for throwing that in there.
Yeah, and I think that is a computer version. Like, so if you want the computer to pick something and you all have to guess, so you don't know either, I think you can play on that site.
Sorry. I think I'm talking too quickly and I get a frog. So a couple different drawing options that they could do as well. Shannon and Matt actually showed the quick draw this morning in their Google Classroom. And there's a link that you can go to here. And basically it just gives you certain topics that you have to try to draw in 20 seconds. So it'll ask you to draw a horse. And so the kids will just practice drawing on their screen while it tries to guess what it is that they're drawing. So you want to try to get 6 out of 6 or as best as you can. So you could do it during a Zoom meeting, and the first person to tell you that they've gotten 6 out of 6, then they could be the winner. A lot of these are just like game type things. They like competition and competing against their classmates. The other one down here is auto draw. And basically it's kind of the same thing as quick draw. You start to draw something, and then along the top, examples of what they think you're drawing pop up. And so you choose whichever picture you want, and it puts it on like a whiteboard. You can change the color, you can add accessories to things. But then what you could do from this auto draw then is have kids post their picture on Padlet or do a Flipgrid like Shannon suggested earlier, and they try to guess what the picture is that they've drawn. Like you might have seen like the nursery rhyme emoji, like using only emojis, guess this nursery rhyme before. So I'm just going to click on my Padlet here. and it should take me. So what I've done is I've just created a Padlet where I posted my auto draw here. So I wanted my kids to try to guess what nursery rhyme it is that I drew. And they can just type in their answer below it. So the more students add in, the more they can make guesses. So similar to Shannon's like 2 truths and a lie on Flipgrid, this would be something similar, just using a different site. Or you could use it on Flipgrid and do it that way. So that one's just kind of some drawing ones to get, you know, thinking of other ways to get kids involved. And again, this could be elementary up to high school. It would just kind of depend how you want to use it. And then a co-teacher that I taught with, and I know Kim, I see you on here, Kim Ford. I know you use these Snapple facts and do like a fact a day for your kids. So they could just go to this Snapple Real Facts website, and it just produces lots of different real interesting facts. So maybe they go on and they find their favorite one or the one they found to be most interesting and share that with the class. If someone has already shared their Snapple fact or the fact that they picked, then they have to go back and choose another one. And maybe you vote on the most interesting fact that was shared that day. But it's just really interesting things that you may not have known. So I learned something walking past Kim's Ford room, her room every day, because there'd be a new Snapple fact on there. So it's just kind of fun that they will find interesting and learn some different things. So I think that actually is the last of them. Yep, because there's just our summer schedule. So I kind of went through it, like Shannon said, it's just kind of a quick, different set of activities. Everybody should have the slide deck, so you can have access to the links and all the slides that were presented today. Any questions anybody has?
We hope you thought maybe there's 1 or 2 things you could grab and use this week, or even just kind of, those would be great for the beginning of the school year too, to do some community building.
Exactly. Do we need to set the link or send the link again?
Yeah, if you want to put it back in there.
Sure.
I can
Yes,
do it.
it was 3 blind mice, Jamie. Good job.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you and enjoy this beautiful day. And if you have any questions or things throughout the summer, if this is the last one you're planning on tuning in, just let us know.
And just a reminder that we're going to be doing PLs starting in the month of June every Tuesday at 9. And we'll post more on our Facebook page and our Twitter page as those subjects become available. If there's something you'd like us to cover, please reach out to us and let us know as well.
Yep. It's always great to hear from teachers what you want us to do for you. So let us know. We'll stick around for a couple more minutes if anybody has any specific questions or you want to know how you can use this within your own classroom. But yeah, like Shannon said, go enjoy that nice, warm, sunny day.
Yeah.
That I didn't think we were going to get.
I didn't either.